Syria and Israel are expected to sign not a normalization agreement, but a peace agreement by the end of the year. Now, this is that's why I think this should be labeled not in the context of the Abraham Accords, because that was a more transactional agreement, opening reciprocal embassies, establishing flight routes and business cooperation. This is peace. This means aligned security interests, more integration and cooperation vis-a-vis regional threats. Now, under this peace agreement, Israel will gradually withdraw from Syrian territory that it seized following the fall of Bashar al-Assad, mainly the 9 points in Syrian territory in the buffer zone, as well as outside of it, including the peak of Mount Hermon. But this does not mean that Israel will be returning the Israeli Golan Heights. That is not part of the deal. According to this Syrian source, this historic agreement will fully normalize relations between the two countries, as well as indicating that the Golan Heights will be, quote unquote, garden for peace and prosperity between the two countries. So this is really a report that in my lifetime I did not expect I would be delivering, but it shows that really in a constantly changing, rapidly changing Middle East, anything can happen.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's bring in Hazim Al-Gabra. He's the former senior advisor at the US Department of State and from Syria himself. Welcome, Hazim. Good to have you with us on the programme. So what are your thoughts then? I mean, are Syrians, exhausted by war? They had this long, brutal civil war. They've seen Israel annihilate Hezbollah, which was responsible for so much of their suffering. Are they now ready for peace, real peace with Israel?
Excellent question. I think the region is ready for peace, not only Syria. However, we, as always in that region, we run into problems of nouns and definitions. We are hearing the Abraham Accords name being dropped a lot. That would not make sense for Syria. As Ariel mentioned, this would, I also disagree with what Ariel called a peace agreement, because it's very loosely defined. What Syria needs right now with Israel, immediately, not by the end of the year, not by December, by July, is a security agreement. That's something that we've been talking about since January, and I've mentioned this on your television before. I've proposed a 5-point security agreement to immediately secure the borders and obviously secure Israel, and stop any additional need for aggression by the IDF to secure the Israeli border. A simple agreement that makes sense, that can be built upon. I believe there's a lot of pressure right now to do something media-worthy, but I would caution against trying to get something that sounds great.
Pressure from the United States?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what's going on here.
Well,
it's all about the public attention right now.
President Trump's looking for a big win, and we've just heard his envoy to Turkey saying that Turkey will have a big role on a new road for the Middle East. He's also said that there is a need for Syria and Lebanon, by the way, to have peace with Israel. I mean, just on Turkey, Turkey had a lot to do with the overthrow of Assad. Can you see Israel and Turkey working together over Syria here?
Turkey and Israel are working together. They're at least deconflicting at this point, and it's necessary. I mean, we're talking about major regional powers having to work together. It's not unusual. But also their needs, the people in Syria and the people in Israel deserve to understand what direction everything is going at. And from Turkey, we can't hear one thing, then see another. Same for Syria. However, going back to Syria, it's very important, again, not to succumb to pressures, whether it's Turkish or American or otherwise, because it's a one-time shot. And I agree with Ariel, nobody has expected to hear these words uttered in our lifetime. But if this is done incorrectly and fails, that will push any potential future agreements years down the line. This needs to be done and done right, not done with speed or for certain political gains, immediate or imminent political gains, as some parties may want.